and gentlemen, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jeff, and Beau Bridges.
I know trouble, and its name starts with an S.
They made music.
Miss Susie Diamond.
She made love. The Fabulous Baker Boys. Sunday, 9:50 on BBC2.
Meet the woman with a magnetic personality! One example of weirdness in a very strange year! But what happens when weird is normal?
Well, I suppose some people would call me a freak. I'm well outside the normal range of human size.
Corporate rumor! Or urban myths? Are they fact or fiction? Has anybody really done this?
My sister knows this friend.
Right.
And he knows this couple.
You don't say! It's X-rated. It's extra scary. It's the X-Files! Weird night! Find it before it finds you!
I do it every Sunday.
I do it in the bath.
I do it everywhere.
My parents, they don't do it anymore.
I do it on my own.
Every record in full.
You just can't fake it.
Only on Radio 1's Top 40, 97 to 99 FM.
Lily Savage arranges more Lifeswaps in 15 minutes, featuring comedian Jim Bowen exchanging gags with an alternative act. Who'll have the last laugh? Now on BBC2, Mark Lamar offers a first-class ticket to Holiday Hell.
Going on holiday, for most of us, the highlight of the year. It's what you work all your life for, and you deserve a bloody good time.
It was hell.
Complete nightmare.
A few weeks relaxation, the search for paradise, maybe the hope of some romance.
You only go to sort of get off with people, don't you?
Whatever. It's a chance to get away from your stinking normal life. But on the league table of stress, taking a vacation ranks alongside moving house, having a divorce, and losing a loved one.
Went to Butlins and Minehead a few years back.
The only difference is you don't save up for the others, unless you're particularly stupid.
We had a great time, actually.
The search for the golden tan starts long before the turkeys stop repeating and Granny's been sent back to the sheltered home. In fact, just as you sat there trying to decide which New Year's Eve party to throw up at, Judith Chalmers pops up on TV telling you about the cost of a cappuccino in Capri. As if you're going to be worried about that when you've saved up all year to get there. Big bottle of tequila, £6.
The food's cheap and the booze is cheap and it's hot.
When you're on holiday, you have a strange compulsion to compare everything with the price back home and working out that if you lived in Mykonos for a year, you could save £4 if you only used public transport. Anyway, back to the brochures.
I'm going to go to the travel agent and I'm going to say, hello, I'd like a holiday and I'd like the sea to be see-through.
Remember, be cynical. They're there to entice and give you that illusion of a dream time. They never ever play on the downside, like being mugged in Malaga or food poisoning in Florida. And they never give you any tips on who to go with.
I did in fact go with one friend of mine, and that was sadly out of a brochure. She organised all that. It was one of these hotels in the middle of a pile of rubble, miles from nowhere. Nowhere near a beach, nowhere near a shop.
Holiday advice from the RAC. Have you got your traveller's checks? Have you got your personal insurance? Have you got your passport? Have you got your 5-star return tow package? Have you got your car insurance? Have you got your car? I haven't got a car. If you're flying, leave adequate time for your flight to depart. If you're not flying, you're probably going on the ferry to France or holiday in Britain or not holidaying at all, in which case I've got no interest in you whatsoever.
Flight 310.
Gatwick faced 3-hour delays, torture of £600 plus similar holdup.
In the interest of safety, will passengers take note of the location of emergency exits. In case of engine failure, the parachute is found in the captain's seat.
Listen carefully to the safety procedure, paying particular notice to where your emergency exits are. Excuse me, where are the emergency exits? Lovely. After that, just relax and enjoy your flight. What's the film today, by the way?
Buddy Holly story.
Fantastic. Every year, 112,278,000 of you, approximately, embark on that spiritual journey which results in holiday hell. And I know what you're thinking, there aren't 112,278,000 people in this country. Well, that's because so many suckers have a bad time first go round, they have to try again.
Flight schedules change, holding items onto an aircraft. Explosives, irritating and radioactive, in obligation to roast meals or refresh ammunition.
We're looking at this aeroplane very happily. And they hammered at this aeroplane, but it didn't look very sort of technical hammering. It was basically, you know, big mallet hammers, and to our terror, they walked us out to this aeroplane and put us on it.
We took off from Gatwick, and we got to about 2,000 feet, and the pilot levelled out, and then there was air stewardesses running up and down the plane, and asked us to get into crash positions, ready for the emergency landing. I knew immediately there was something wrong. The plane came into Gatwick, and it came in at such a rate of knots that we thought the wheels were just going to come off. Chased down the road with fire engine, Gatwick police, the lot. And it was just a complete nightmare, because there were people grabbing for their bottles of scotch and their duty-frees and their money, and they valued their property more than they valued their life.
I normally have some tranquilizers and about 4 double brandies before I get on the plane.
If you're scared of flying, remember statistically it's much safer to get on a plane than it is to be run over, or something like that. But if you have got worries, don't forget that the airline staff are all trained to look after your anxieties, and they'll reassure you during the flight, so do let them know. Excuse me, I think I was adopted and I'm having an emotional crisis.
It was delayed 3 hours, we got off, and we got back on, and then got off again, and then we got back on, and then we got off again, and then we waited, they got another plane, and finally, many hours after we were supposed to be there, we got to Nairobi. The only trouble was, the baggage was in Tripoli.
They left the suitcases behind in London for 3 days. Utter complete disaster.
This American just latched himself onto me. He was just so loud and like getting other people to like listen in on the conversation. And my God, have you seen these girls' legs? Have you seen her boobs? Blah, blah, blah. Eventually got on the flight and I saw this same American guy walking towards me, and he went, "Oh, what city are you?" I said, 30B. He went, "Oh, when you're now I-31B."
You could use that option of turning up at a travel agency at the last minute and seeing if they've got any standbys. I tried this, I went in with me 40 quid, I said, where can I go that's hot and affordable? And they said, go to hell. So I get here and I can't even find my tour guide. Oh, here he is. Hi, Chief. I've never been on a Club 1830 before. When can I leave? Some remote places don't have toilet paper, so if the locals extend their hands, be careful which hand they extend. If they extend both hands, they probably want money. But if you're in New York and they extend one hand, and it's got a gun or a knife in it, it probably means the same thing.
Toilet paper in the fridge.
I kept on drinking all this fluid, and it came straight through her. It was disgusting.
The worst time. It's one of those where you've got to squat. Well, I just can't do it. I just can't use it.
All these little signs up saying, please do not flush your lavvy paper down lavvy. This waste has been provided. Well, unfortunately, the only waste has been provided was in the kitchen.
Relate caused an average 25% increase in counselling for couples after the Christmas and summer holidays.
Your first big holiday decision is who to go with. Now, I'd say avoid your regular partner. I'm not saying take an irregular partner. It's just that the person you spend the rest of the year with will tend to look a bit pale in comparison with the natives.
I'm afraid to say this, Maltesers, but I mean, the men are just a bunch of medieval sex monsters. I think some of it is to do with the fact that they assume that all English women just want to have sex the whole time when they're on holiday. You know, occasionally like to go out for a meal or read the paper.
You're bound to argue, sorry about that, but it's true, and spending a few weeks alone on a beach with just a Jackie Collins novel to take your mind off the fact that your partner is more pink, more lumpy, and less attractive than everyone else on the beach tends to put a bit of a strain on the relationship. No offence. If you do go with your regular partner, on no account go with another couple, even if they're your best friends.
One of the couples fell apart at the last minute.
I suppose you could go with a gang, but even then things can get a bit heated, because like, if one of your mates gets off with a girl you fancy, you might have to share your double room with both of them every night, and that's no fun.
We stayed the night in this room. We realised there was a spy hole. He'd been sort of spying on us the whole evening.
I remember going to Barcelona once and not remembering what I'd done for 8 weeks.
We got stuck in the middle of the day.
Where you go, it was garlic, you know, and Spanish BO. We don't really I don't think they're into behind you. People were being sick.
You had to share
a table with the most boring person in the entire universe, and she showed us her crocheting that she'd done that week.
Something that you don't have in Britain when you get off the plane, and something that you have when you get off a plane abroad, is a particular sort of sort of like a herbal smell. There's a scent in the air, and all I can sort of go on is the fact there are palm trees as well, which seems to be like this thing that all these places have in common. So I think maybe palm trees give off a scent.
Most guides recommend you learn a little bit of the local dialect. Now, it doesn't matter if your pronunciation's not right, they'll be really appreciative of the effort you've gone to. Apparently, the two most essential phrases are, excuse me, your daughter seems to have eaten my slippers, and of course, do you know where I can buy a hat for a weasel? Barakalo puporo nagarosa ena capella ya ena weasel.
So mate, speak English.
Jabs and war zones are a consideration. Obviously, some places in the world are more volatile than others. Like the Gambia, you can have a nice holiday there. But Margate on a bank holiday Monday, I can go off like a rocket.
25 minutes ratings. If you to die while on holiday in the Far East, uninsured, it would cost you around £12,000.
If you're heading for hot climes, and that can include Blackpool on a good day if there's such a thing, do invest in a high-factor sun cream. The lesson I've learned is you shouldn't try and save money with lard, butter or margarine unless you're an omelette.
I managed to get third-degree burns on my boobs, and the burns got infected, so I ended up with nasty, pussy scabs and bandages around my boobs, which are really, really painful.
Bits off their faces, eyeball, because they all got ringworm in the holiday hotel pool. Revolting. They were revolting. Holidays are revolting.
We went to China. They really wanted to impress us with their acupuncture techniques. So they took us to see this operation, which was done under acupuncture anesthesia, and this guy had a cancer in his lung. And to get the cancer out, you've got to cut open the chest, open the various layers, and pull the cancer out. And he was screaming and coughing up blood and just the stink of, well, unwell person.
We compiled the information in our brochure.
From the village. Yeah, places on the island for guys and girls, forget the constraints of war. Why not?
Tunisia. Never got to Tunisia. There was no one to pick us up at the airport. We got to the hotel and there were 2,000 bedrooms. The bed was soiled when I got there. The food was appalling. There was a camel found dead at the end of the beach. There were chickens dead in the gutter. The fish on the market stalls were just infested with flies, conned by a little lad. The meat pits.
Number 7 on the list of the most common photographic mistakes is holding the camera the wrong way around.
You'll want some record of the fantastic time you're having to show all the losers you left behind. Now forget the camcorder, far too bulky. A decent holiday snap should tell the story. And a telephoto lens would allow you to catch some of those off-guard moments from all the people that blew you out of the disco.
I stayed overnight and flew back the next day.
I woke up, my flight had gone, and I saw my plane going off with my luggage on board.
I had to come back earlier than I originally intended. I also ran out of money.
I did miss the flight coming out of Texas. And I threw the complete tenty through my suit carrier on the ground, started screaming at the top of my head.
There was a rather elderly couple, and the man had a heart attack and died, and the woman insisted on having all his breakfasts because she paid for them. But they actually flew his coffin back with the package holiday flight, and it was on the carousel.
I didn't take any notice of where the car was parked, and we are talking 2.5 hours.
They don't enjoy us being there. They don't want us there, so it's best that we just don't go.
After you've had your fortnight in hell, your humdrum home and mundane job won't seem so bad. And at least when you get back to work, you can relax of all the stress of the holiday. And apart from that, you've got your photos to look forward to. You get down to the chemist, open up that packet, and all those memories come flooding back. So, your final holiday dream's been shattered. You've got somebody else's pictures, and by the looks of it, they had a much better time than you did. And with your girlfriend.
No fantasy in English football? Try BBC2. Hit-ups, male bonding, probing questions.
Who is Marion Montgomery?
Insight,
I'll have a turnip coming out in the ear hole before long.
spot the poker, spot Spano, discuss strategy.
What do a monkey and a pony represent?
Meet the coach. Celebrity guests, intercity treats.
You're excited. What do you think it is?
Indulge your taste with Fantasy Football League. Returns Friday, 16th of December. Now with added dress sense.
Music to the ears for Christmas on BBC2.
Why do stars fall down?
An all-time classic concert, The Carpenters.
Every chance you walk by.
Tony Bennett's Unplugged, and in the mood for jazz with guest K.D. Lang. The highlight of the country music year is the 1994 Country Music Awards, with stars including Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris, La Lovett, and Little Richard, part of a musical Christmas with BBC2.
The Christmas Radio Times double issue is on sale now. Your complete guide to programmes for the holiday season, together with listings for all television and satellite channels. On BBC One now, Michael Aspel and 4 famous words. This is your life. And if your life isn't quite up to scratch, BBC2 can do you a straight exchange. Thanks to Lily Savage.